Thank you, Samad Hussain, uh, distinguished Director General, Mark, and distinguished participants at the World Forum on Democracy and Peace. Good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I would like to welcome you to today's session. We deeply appreciate your presence and participation. At the same time, I pay tribute to more than 1,500 souls for their high sacrifice for our country during the recent events that unfolded. I am deeply impressed to see the distinguished audience and the wonderful arrangement. Many thanks to you, Director General, for giving us the opportunity. Bangladesh, a country in South Asia considered as the undiscovered gem, Bangladesh has drawn attention because of the peace-loving, hard-working people who are constantly, successfully facing many challenges and overcoming those challenges, creating worth emulating marks for others. Perhaps Bangladesh, let's start with the people, most important. We have 170 million people, and if you combine and compare with Russia, which is 119 times larger in terms of land surface, Bangladesh houses more people in its small land mass than Russia does. So that makes us one of the largest countries in the world. If you consider the land mass and people ratio. Our resources, mainly people and their will to realize the true potentials of lives. So the people can make difference not only for themselves but also for global masses. That makes Bangladesh a responsive country in the global community of nations. The development for the development practitioners, the development in Bangladesh also remained a prime importance. Sometimes you heard the theory or concept of Bangladesh paradox. It comes from the Harvard study when they compared the health indicators versus the financial resources at the disposal. Usually, there is a general theory that the more money you put in for your health sectors, that you're going to see the improved health conditions. So there are many countries that puts double the health budget than Bangladesh. But yet, in terms of indicating in the health indicators, Bangladesh performs better than those countries having more financial resources engaged in health sectors. So this, in a nutshell, called health Bangladesh paradox. Okay, coming back to the recent events. Recently, the Bangladesh has captured global attention due to its commitment to renew and realize democratic practices in the country. The valiant people, particularly the young folks, the Gen Z we call, really came up with a strong voice and wholeheartedly supported by the mass people. They are now building their future in more inclusive and assertive ways, keeping high ambitions with high moral. The background of that uprising in Bangladesh was the broad background was the unusual democracy deficit that was so obvious and demonstrated over the last decade. Today, many of the young people whose age is 28 could not exercise their democratic right through the ballots in the national elections. The leaders of the opposition, supporters of the opposition parties were systematically harassed during those periods, detained or even killed without proper judicial trials and representation. The anti-democratic practices of the then government were duly reflected in democracy index, is perhaps by freedom index, where the position of Bangladesh nose down nosedive to down to from 100 to 100 from just 100 from 74th position in 2024. So in a year or two, there is a 26 position down because of the undemocratic practices of the past regime. So against this background, the great event of mass uprising evolved from a simple demand of the students to remove the job quotas. Students wanted to make the government jobs free from any reservation, not even for a particular privileged segments of the society. In response, the then autocratic government dealt the issue with a heavy hand, with force, which resulted killing of more than 1,500 people, including students. As a result, the regime was forced to flee from the country. The serious dearth of democratic practices brought many negative consequences for Bangladesh. Among them, we can mention about the weak governance of democratic institutions, judiciary and financial institutions. Disparity and discrimination increase was massive with the increase of corruption, lack of transparency and accountability. So the student process tremendously got widened and branched out to addressing these kinds of democratic deficits built up over the years. The then regime had to flee outside, and the present regime, present interim government led by the Nobel laureate Professor Muhammad Yunus has been entrusted by the people to steer the country into the democratic path. This year we are marking the first anniversary of the interim government and remembering the supreme sacrifice of the people, at the same time renewing the pledge towards the sustainable democracy. But the journey is highly challenging. At one side, there is urgent need to revamp the devastating economy, and the other side, of course, stands for the massive need for reforms. In between stands the demand for holding or need for holding the free and fair elections as early as possible. Government has declared and committed to hold the national elections in February 2026. The government goals is clear. Its goal is to create a democratic order for power, for a democratic order in which the power is well balanced. This is one goal, where no autocrat can ever return, where no elected leaders can destroy democracy. This is another goal. Where those who are meant to protect the people can never again prey upon them. So these are the broad goals of the present government. So what we are doing to realize this vision, we have established 11 independent commissions on governance, on judiciary, on elections, on public administration, law enforcement, on corruptions, women's rights, and other vital areas. These commissions are regularly consulting citizens, studying deeply, and produce detailed proposals for reform. To anchor these reforms in permanence, we have created national consensus commissions which work together with more than 30 political parties and coalitions. Its aim is simple yet historic. The aim is to forge a collective pledge that transcends party lines. On the first anniversary of the July Uprising, we stood together on one stage and announced July declarations, a time-bound commitment to reform that government means, that commitment means no matter who wins the next elections, the reform will not stop, will not reverse, and will not be undone. During the last 1 year, due to policy interventions of the government, our financial stability increased substantially, marked by increased foreign exchange reserves, introduction of the market-based exchange rate, followed by high remittance from the Bangladeshi nationals working overseas, FDI increase, trade logistic improved, and to achieve the foreign direct investment, government strengthened economic governments, which now dispose the cases with relatively more speed. Labor reforms are there, and also improving work conditions latent priority. On the question of future economic scenario, we are optimistic. On the questions of Bangladesh, on the questions of Bangladesh and peace, because the study of peace, I can claim that we are definitely a peaceful nation. For why? Because we did not imagine ruling on others when we had the capacity. We had the best economic capacity. It's a long time ago, not now, 300 years ago. So we just kept within ourselves and we're self-satisfied. But we're trying to regain those particularly economic capability. Then one of our diplomatic mindset is that we don't take advantage from any conflicts, from anywhere in the world, out of the conflict between the nations. Then we have proven skills of building peace in Africa. So in Africa, I can give you example of Bangladesh, how Bangladesh peacekeeping got recognitions, is that in Sierra Leone, the peacekeepers worked so hard, and the people of Sierra Leone and the government of Sierra Leone decided to make Bangla as their national language. So it is very unusual in the world. And also I can give you example of football. I don't know anyone from Algeria or not. So Bangladeshis constantly support Argentina during the World Cup. I come from during the World Cup, and it was huge. It drew huge attention to Argentina people, and they asked their foreign minister that the people of Bangladesh is so supportive to us. Why don't you go to Bangladesh and open their embassy? So this resulted that out of just love for football and supporting others, in recognition they are now opening embassy in Bangladesh. So it's very unusual, but it happened to us. So these are some reflections that of peace that characterize Bangladesh. So now we need the understanding. What we need from the international community is very clear. So we need the understanding and invaluable support of the international community, as we believe that equally vital are an inclusive framework for international tax corporations, coordinated global measures against illicit financial flows and corruptions, and a stronger international cooperation for the recovery of stolen and illicit asset. Recovering the illicit and stolen asset from our country is one of the highest priorities of the government, because in the last 15 years, billions of dollars were siphoned abroad through corruptions. We are working closely to bring them back. But the path is very difficult due to the legal processes are cumbersome in the concerned countries, and it takes time, but we are hopeful. We are hopeful because, the Bangladesh bank hack, some scrupulous or some cyber hacks, they hacked Bangladesh bank 10 years ago, and they took money to the Philippines, so 81 million. So it's not a joke, but we chased after them. So 10 years, after 10 years, we got the court verdict from Philippines that the money has to be returned to Bangladesh. So we are on it. So this is one point, and we know another point, important point, is that we like to draw your attention and support from our friends and allies to remain vigilant against anti-Bangladesh, anti-government, and anti-reform propaganda. Since the embezzlers, plunderers got the money outside and stay outside. So they are in a comfortable position and they can use the foreign media to do this kind of propaganda against government, since the media in foreign countries often are not aware of what is happening on the ground in Bangladesh. So we seek your kind and proper understanding and support. Finally, Bangladesh recent, one of the core things we can say, if you analyze the democracy and development, there is a debate, global debate, that which is preferred, democracy first hand or democracy development first. Some countries say that okay, some policymakers say okay, first you do the development, then you go for democracy. But others say no, you develop with democracy. So these are the theoretical or practical just debate is going on. But the incident in Bangladesh solved that one, because the earlier regime, they always played on the development card. They say, okay, look, the country is going very fast, 6-7% growth. We are building mega projects, highways are built. So please don't talk much about democracy. So they prioritize the developments, but people say no, first democracy, then the development, because that kind of development, by our experience, is that it helped to center the funding or the resources at the hand of few people. The oligarchy was going, and if you see the Guinea index, it deteriorated from 32 to 36 or 37 over the last 8 years. So we solved the democracy and the development debate. So I can stop at this moment. So thank you for listening with patience and interest. Thank you so much. I think obviously there could be more questions, should be more.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, for this very impressive. Thank you for this very impressive speech. And Mark, as I understood, we can take some questions, or
would you like questions now or after the film?
No.
No, we can take now.
So
Okay. Yes, please go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Ambassador. My name is Sandeep. I'm from India, and it's my first day here, semester one.
Oh,
I heard your speech with great interest, and it was a very interesting speech. It was of greater personal interest to me because ethnically I'm Bengali. I speak the language, and the developments in Bangladesh last year and the eventual progresses made after that by Muhammad Yunus's interim government have been very encouraging. The question here is, India and Bangladesh, of course, have a long, rich and very close history together, starting from 71, where Indian army played a pivotal role along with the Mukti Bahini to liberate Bangladesh and basically become a country of its own. My question to you is, since last year's uprising in Bangladesh and the student-led protests, which successfully overthrew the government, the then government led by Sheikh Hasina, in India, it's very evident that there's an anti-India sentiment on the streets. And I understand some of it is genuine and it comes from a place of deep anguish because they probably felt India was always acting like the big brother in that equation. Going forward, how do you see the equations and the diplomatic relations between Bangladesh and India evolving? Because I do believe ethnically, culturally, linguistically, they have so much in common and they should not be enemies. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, Ambassador.
Of course, good questions. After the event uprising in last year, what happened? The relations between Bangladesh and India was characterized by the relations with the Indian government and the political party. So from our perspective, we see that this is a mistake because one country has to keep the relations wide open, and that must include the people. and they should understand the sentiment of the people. So the naturally the relations stumbled, but from our side it is open. We are very open, and you will be amazed to see the trade relations continued. Not only continued, it increased, because there is the borders. We consider it not normal. It is artificial border. And the people's connections are like, you mentioned from 70, it's 1,000 years country. We are actually one country, single country. So by historic reasons, we are separated. But the things that we transact regularly. And there are some issues with India, and India imposed some restrictions on Bangladeshis, and but now the visa is the people-to-people contact again is gaining ground, and it is happening at this moment, and there are some restrictions, but Bangladesh is a very large economy, so it's 31st largest economy, and we have many options. So treatment. So if you don't give visa, Bangladesh is going to Thailand or China, or even we are developing our own systems. So that is beneficial for us. The US stopped the cattle to export to Bangladesh due to religious ground. But our government gave loans to many young people, young entrepreneurs, and eventually we become self-reliant. So it is not that the stopping Bangladesh does not mean punishing Bangladesh, but we have our own way of creativity, one way out. But I am very much optimistic, because this artificial barrier will not last long. And look, you are from Bengal region, Paschim Bangla.
Yes, my roots are there. I was born and raised in a different part of India, but ethnically,
yeah, okay.
Undivided Bengal.
Okay. So who is suffering? So our own ethnic group in India is suffering actually. So the northern they are not suffering. So immediate the estates are suffering. They are businessmen suffering. So if you open but so this is very artificial. So it will not last long, and eventually will start in full swing, like European Union, hopefully.
Great. Thank you very much, Ambassador. Yes, please. The lady.
Hello, sir. I'm from Bangladesh. This is Dilara. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to ask you a question. Actually, every year, many students want to pursue their higher education in Germany, but the long appointment process creates significant challenges for them. In this context, do you see any possible solution that could help strengthen academically and culturally ties between Bangladesh and Germany?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Actually, the long queue is our fault, actually. This we sometimes say that what we are doing, we ask embassy, what ambassador, what are you doing? But it is our fault. We are taking the liberal, mechanism of Germany. A class 8 school boy can register for German visa. So you know the system. Anybody can register their name. So they are making a long queue. So those who need it badly, so they are falling behind. So we have requested this new ambassador of Germany, Bangladesh, so that we need to screen out immediately this and reduce the long queue. I think after this situation will improve very soon. They are going to think how to reduce the long queue and screen out those who don't need German visa, but still registered those. So, and even some, there are many applicants who, instead of waiting for Germany, has otherwise chance in any other countries, or they change their decision not to come to Germany. So they also need to be screened out of the list. So that's why we can reduce. So they agreed in principle. And I learned that they are working, so very soon I think the situation will improve.
Thank you very much. Yes, please. Gentleman here in the second row.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. You spoke, if I heard you right, you mentioned that Sierra Leone in Africa is adopting Bangladeshi, your language.
Bangla language.
Language, okay. Well, that's good to know, but as an African, typically Pan-Africanist, I think that beyond the language, Bangladeshi probably should be seen as a more engaging partner in terms of African development. My question actually relates to the conflict going on in Sudan. I understand that in 2023, the Bangladeshi embassy was attacked, and more than 650 expats had to be, repatriated. What role has Bangladesh played in the current conflict going on? I know a lot of Sudanese armed forces members had training in Bangladesh, and there are a lot of influences or factors or interests, playing out in the conflict currently in Sudan. Can you tell us what actions Bangladesh is taking as an economic power in Asia, particularly in the trade industry? You export a lot of garments. I think what I'm wearing is made from Bangladesh. What are the roles you are playing in Sudan to help stop the massacre, the genocide going on there? Thank you very much.
It's very difficult questions because I don't have the information ready not ready in my hand. So, Bangladesh, our general policy is that start dialogue. So avoid conflicts. Yes, there was a very unfortunate incident. Our embassy was plundered, they destroyed, property hijacked or looted. But I'm not sure what the Bangladesh is actively involved or not. But indirectly, of course, Bangladesh is involved because Sudan is a OIC member countries. So if the thing is tabled in OIC issues, so definitely Bangladesh role is there, and the role is of course, supportive of peace. I think that much I can say. And of course, Sudan, there is arms training, particularly the senior officials trainings. They are in Bangladesh. They take part in Bangladesh. I know. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.